Yo, what's good YouTube? It's your boy IntroSpecktive, and Fighter Pass Volume 2 was revealed to us at the start of this year, and we're getting our first taste of it this June, with the inclusion of Challenger Pack 6, a representative from ARMS. Who the character actually is remains to be seen, but that inclusion of a brand new franchise, and the mystery still around it, got me feeling extremely excited again. So excited, in fact, that I started to really wonder who I would ideally want to see in all 6 slots of Fighter Pass Volume 2. There's obviously a million possibilities, not all of them necessarily realistic.
And now you get points for it too.
But still, I think it would be fun to speculate on some of the characters that I personally think would best fit the mold of Super Smash Bros. To kick things off, or punch things off I suppose, my choice for the ARMS rep would be Helix. Now despite the opinions that a lot of people have on its gameplay and mechanics, the world of ARMS has an undeniably cool cast of characters. Hell, I would even take Mr. Yabuki himself as the playable representative. With Springman most likely off the table since he's an assist trophy, there's a lot of speculation that the honor will fall to Ribbon Girl, Twintel, or Min Min. But also among the original crew of fighters was Helix, my personal favorite character from the game, and the one I hope blobs his way into Smash. Helix is just all sorts of goofy, from the way that he looks, to his movement in the game, to how he reacts to winning. He's a very physically driven personality, and Smash has plenty of those in its roster, brought even more to life by the game itself. I think he fits this Jello mold perfectly, and I could really see him excelling in Smash. A lot of his movement is very bouncy and stretchy, his goo-like body can twist around completely, and his arms extend and bounce around. I think this could make for some sick mechanics in Ultimate, and provide a one-of-a-kind playstyle to this game. Whereas in ARMS its uniqueness was explored, but the game itself really held back the true potential of this idea, in my opinion. I would love to see Yabuki's wacky blob man be placed in the hands of Sakurai, and I truly think something fun, hilarious, unique, cool, and really special could come from it. Up next, I think the character who's still off the table that would just 100% make the most sense to me in Smash is Phoenix Wright. It would be absolutely amazing to see him in this game, and I really truly think that his source material could make for the most hilarious character in Smash history, while also being completely one of a kind. Now, you wouldn't think that the Ace Attorney series could produce a functioning character in a fighting game, but case in point. Get it? Case and point? Oh, quarantine is brutal. There's no better example that I can show than Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Picking up evidence, his signature point, sneezing, papers flying everywhere, snapping shit with his phone, accusing people, it's a hilarious moveset, and why wouldn't Sakurai want to work with something that crazy? If he truly strives to be a creative genius, which we obviously all know he is, I would love to see him tackle this idea and translate it into Smash. He's done crazier shit before, rob, plant, duck hunt. Phoenix has way more to work with in my opinion, and just the way he looks, and what he represents, and the cult following of people who love him, I think this would be a home run pick for Fighter Pass Volume 2. It just feels so right. Feels so right. Phoenix Wright. It just feels so... Phoenix Wright? It feels so fuck. Speaking of being able to write, my next choice is Maxwell from Scribblenauts. Now, Scribblenauts is just one of the dopest games ever made. If you haven't played it, it's basically a game where you have to overcome puzzles and challenges, but you get to do it by creating basically whatever you want. If you can think of something that could work in a scenario, like a bridge to cross a gap, or a hose to put out a fire, all you had to do was write it in Maxwell's notebook, and it would come to life. Of course, why use a bridge though when you can cross it on the back of a purple giant flying monkey? The possibilities were virtually endless, and it was such an exciting and fun premise, I couldn't get enough of this game, and I replayed it more times than I summoned the Cthulhu. I think this endless creativity would be perfect for a man with seemingly endless creativity, Mr. Masahiro Sakurai. Obviously, not everything you can create in Scribblenauts could be in Smash, but I think a cool idea would be something similar to Hero's Dalby menu, where it opens up a list of a few random things from the game that you could summon, all with different uses, or just having his moveset and attacks revolve around popular items and concepts from the source material, or hell, even both in the same character to really make it as chaotic as could be. Either way, the possibilities would be amazing, and Sakurai would have a ton to work with to find the perfect kit. And I, for one, would love to see Maxwell get scribbled into the patch notes. Probably the character I'd like to see the most make his way into Smash is Steve from Minecraft. And given the popularity of the game, I'm really surprised to see so many people who don't want him. But there's also a huge group of people who do. making him the most controversial pick on my personal list. I've always been an advocate for Steve in Smash, because I think the possibilities for his moveset could be anything, and that amount of source material could make for something we never even dreamed possible functioning in Smash Bros. I mean really, you can use so many things from Minecraft for his specials alone, and that doesn't even include what his normal attacks could be. Pickaxes, swords, bows, TNT, blocks, different terrains, minecarts, lava, spawn eggs, buckets, ender pearls, tridents. I mean, the list goes on and on. Realistically, the combinations possible for his moves would be endless. Sakurai himself is a huge Minecraft fan. In fact, it's one of his favorite games, and I think he would have an absolute field day designing Steve. Almost as much fun as I would have playing whatever crazy concoction he comes up with. I'm always looking for a character that can bring new elements to the game, and Steve can bring tons of new elements to the game, all in one blocky package. Minecraft is the most successful game ever made, and its representation in Smash would be the merging of two titanic franchises. And in my lifetime as a gamer, I would love to see this happen. If there's one pick that I think is criminally under the radar, it's Fawful from the Mario and Luigi series. This is my absolute favorite villain in the world of Mario, and the Mario and Luigi series is one of my favorite franchises ever. In fact, Bowser's Inside Story is my absolute favorite DS game. But this franchise isn't as popular as the other big Mario games, and so I think Fawful is often overlooked by the majority of people. Not only would this guy be absolutely zany in the way that he fights, his personality is also crazy as well, and he would be a perfect fit for Smash in my opinion. I mean seriously, just look at what kind of batshit spews from his mouth. It's so bizarre, I love it. He has 3 games worth of ideas for a moveset as well, so there's plenty of cool things to make him a full-fledged fighter in Smash. He's wacky, he's crazy, he's one of a kind. I think he would be a full package character in Ultimate, and if he doesn't make it into the game, then I have Fury. Last but not least, I think the most badass pick you could possibly include in Smash would be the Doomslayer. Now Doom's roots go way back with Nintendo with the original game on Super NES, and the Slayer has been cracking demon heads in ever since. I think he could make for the most interesting zoner character in Smash, similar to Snake but with cooler weapons and movement options like dashes. He has guns, a sword, all sorts of explosives, a fucking chainsaw. There's a lot there to make him both a primary zoning type of character, but have the ability to look for openings and charge in for big hits, much like Doom's gameplay itself. Of course, Doom is an FPS, so there would be some gameplay and mechanical changes to how he functions in Smash, but I think it would be incredibly sick to see this happen. A similar popular pick to Doomslayer is of course Master Chief, and while I wouldn't mind seeing him at all, my personal preference in the matter leans toward the Slayer. I love Doom, and I think he would be awesome. Of course, I would be remiss to not give some honorable mentions to my list. These aren't my first 6 choices, but I would still be hyped to see Shantae, Tron Bonne, or Conker. I won't go into as much detail for these characters, but as far as their look goes, they would fit right into the fun, cartoony nature of Super Smash Bros. Shantae fights with all sorts of awesome magical genie powers. Tron Bonne has already showcased her ability to be in a fighting game with Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Conker uses all sorts of various weapons. But honestly, it would just be funnier if all he did was stumble around Smashville while drunk as shit. I would be incredibly happy with any of these 9 fighters. These are who I think would be the best fit in Smash, as characters, personalities, unique abilities, and honestly just representing games that I love to death. And that's what Smash is all about in my opinion. I'm just happy to be even getting another fighter pass. The amount of characters we've seen over the years just can't be matched. And regardless of who's next, I can't wait to see what Sakurai has in store. And there you have it, my ideal Fighter Pass Volume 2 in Smash Ultimate. I put a lot of thought into this list, and I can say with certainty that this outcome would be the happiest I could be. I can only hope to see even at least one of these dudes make the roster. Please make my dreams come true, Sakurai. Anyways, I'm curious to know what you think of my list, and even more curious to know what your Dream 6 would be. So, as always, feel free to open up discussion in the comments section. I always appreciate my YouTube community being so active. I'm looking forward to reading your lists, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day. Deuces!